So, certain people in our community again are shouting up their voice going, I need new characters, I need new toys based on brand new characters. I do want Optimus Prime, I don't want Megatron, I don't want Bumblebee, I don't want any of these figures, I don't want any of this, I want something new. Basically. And figures like Ironworks here, it was essentially a new character, because really Ironworks was just a mini-con before, not mini-con, Micromaster. But now he's got this base, and yes, it's based on Toy Legacy, a Legacy Toy, sorry, but he is essentially a new character. That isn't good enough, and people are saying we never get new characters, Well, a few years ago, fair enough, it's 4 or 5 now, we actually got a shed load of new characters in the Combiner Wars line, and I'm here to talk to you about those today. So, the first one we got was Alpha Bravo. Now, for those of you that don't know, the area bots were released in Wave 1 without Slingshot, who didn't have a toy, and without, I think it was Air Raid. Air Raid. And in place we had Dragstrip from the Stunticons, and we had this new character, which was Alpha Bravo, who transformed into a helicopter. And he's a lovely little figure. Now, of course, what do you think happened? There was uproar in the fandom. Well, where's Slingshot? Well, where's Air Raid? Blah, 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 blah. And to be fair, that was backed up a little bit when Wave 2, which had Air Raid in, never hit the bloody UK, along with the rest of the Stunticons. But Alpha Bravo here was a first of a new character. I believe he appeared in some of the comics afterwards and all that kind of stuff. But he was a new character, someone different. And yeah, it's not a leader, but we have had new characters before. And this guy was really, really slated. Well, I saw people slating him because he wasn't one of the original area bots. And this is where we've got two camps in the fandom. We've got the fandom who want to have something new. We've got the fandom who wants to stay true to this source material. And I can't see why you can't have both, to be honest with you. Hasbro went and released Slingshot at a later date as an exclusive. And Alpha Bravo here was basically the foundation for a shed load of helicopter modes for more established figures. Like, for example, we had Vortex, who was the same mould. We had Blades, which was the same mould as well. And I'm sure there was one more. There was helicopters bleeding everywhere at one point, but there we go. So Alpha Bravo here. Has he aged? Well, I think he hasn't aged too badly, to be honest with you. He's nice and tight still, which is good to see. His transformation is simple and fun. Let's get into that now. So here he is all transformed up in his lovely helicopter mode, and it's more of a civilian style design, which works really well for Alpha Bravo, but not so much for Vortex. Transformation's dead simple. The legs just fold up inside the cells, and there he is just chilling underneath with his arms pegged in the side. I've tabbed his gun in here, and it's an okay helicopter mode. I mean, let's face it, Combiner Wars get slated, but in my opinion, it was the starting point for the Prime Wars trilogy. But that's a fact, that's not an opinion, but you get what I mean. And it started something new for us in the Generation line, which is great. I think Titan's Return was definitely the strongest of the three. Power of the Primes was probably the weakest, and Combiner Wars was slap bang in the middle. But Alpha Bravo here was from Wave 1. He replaced Slingshot, and for many people, even though he was a new character, they still started to hype on about how they wanted the original member of the area bots. And that always sticks in my mind when I see conversations now about, oh, we need new characters, we need new characters. Well, we've been there before, and you just can't please everyone. Now, Wave 2, that's one character, by the way. Wave 2 bought another, and Wave 2 was not released in the UK, which was a big pain. I managed to pick up these, I think it was off eBay or something like that, the entire wave. But Offroad was added to the Stunticons in place of, I think it was it Wild Rider? I'm sure it was Wild Rider. And Offroad is a new Decepticon. He's actually filling in on my scavenger shelf at the moment as Crankcase, because he looks kind of like Crankcase. But he is a cool figure. He turns into like a van, which is something a bit different, and he added an extra dynamic to the Stunticons. It was something new. It was something we hadn't seen before, and it was great to have that. But again, some people weren't happy. Some people weren't happy that Wild Rider wasn't in the original team, in the original release. And luckily later on we did get a Wild Rider, so you were able to complete the set with the original characters, which is great. Transformation for this guy, pretty simple. You just literally fold the legs away. And transformation for all of these figures was very, very simple. And here's Offroad all transformed up. And this figure is a beautiful, beautiful vehicle. Again, it was a pre-tool that was used for, I think, Trailbreaker and Ironhide, I think. But this was a new character, and I think he fitted in really well with the Stunticons, even though he's more of a pickup truck, not really a stunt car, but I think it worked really, really well. And I really like this figure. He had very similar colours to Wild Rider, and he came with this really cool axe, as I showed before, which was nice to have a little bit of a different weapon. So Wave 1 and Wave 2 introduced a brand new character into the kind of G1 character base and scenario. So we had another new one, and people adopted him a little bit better, but they still wanted Wild Rider. But Combiner Wars wasn't done there, and I think it was in Wave 3 or was it 4? I can't remember. But the Predictabots were released, and as part of that, Groove was only released as a Legends figure, and they clipped into the chest of Defensor rather than being the leg. And we got Rook. In my opinion, one of the best moulds of the line. It was used as Swindle and Hound later on, and this guy was really cool because he actually didn't have hands as such. He had these ports. He had an amazing, well, he has an amazing head sculpt, and he just looked really big and heavy duty. Again, a new character for us to have in our collection, and these are three strong characters we've had. Well, I say characters, designs. I don't know much about the characters, but the design of the toy was really good. They come with this really unique weapon, which can clip on. These fists are weird but cool. They're like normal fists, but you just plug in the weapon in the end. I like that. Really, really bizarre, but quite cool. And this guy really fitted in with the Predictabots because he turned into a heavy-duty SWAT vehicle, which really fitted in with the Predictabots. And if you think about it, the Predictabots having Groove as a leg, who is a motorbike, Defensor having Groove as a leg, who is a motorbike, was a bit odd for scale-wise, because at the end of the day, the other leg is a police car, and motorbikes are smaller than police cars, so it's quite funny. And I think this fitted really well. And transformation there, you can see him in his riot vehicle mode, and it's a cool little mode. His gun can fit on the top there, 6-wheeled armoured vehicle, SWAT on the side, and I think it worked really, really well. I think this mould worked better in this design. This was obviously retooled into a Jeep for Swindle and Hound. I believe this is the only version of this exact mould that we got. I've actually got an oversized KO of this in blue, which I've held on to. I want to try and dig that out actually, because that was really cool. But there we go. So we had another new character in Combiner Wars. So that is 3 new Transformers that we got as part of the Combiner Wars line, with names and designs, and I think they were really cool. I don't know if anyone else out there, but I think Combiner Wars was a pretty good line. I really enjoyed it. It was a line that really got me back into collecting newer Transformers again, and these 3 will always hold a very special place in my heart because they were something different. And as a G1 are coming back, these had these almost have the designs and the aesthetic that they could have been a G1 toy, and it's interesting to think what these could have been if they were a G1 toy. I mean, you could easily say this could have been like a vortex mould. That would be cool to customise. This one, I mean, if it was a combiner, I genuinely don't know who you would go for. As I say, it reminds me a lot of Crankcase, so let's call Crankcase for now. I'd love a Generations Crankcase, by the way. And this guy here, I mean, I just don't know. He's big and bulky. I mean, maybe he would have been a torso combiner back in the day. Who knows? But anyway, my point is that there are different people who want different things from this community. It's interesting going back a couple of years when Hasbro sent out that questionnaire to people who were buying third-party Transformers and asked them what they were looking for. And a few years later we get Siege and we get Earthwise, which are basically mini MPs, which is why people were buying a lot of third-party Transformers to fill out the Masterpiece shelf. And it's great to have new characters. It's great to get the nostalgic pull of older Transformers, but it's great to get newer characters as well. And this is where I think Earthrise and Siege have nailed it to a certain extent, because we still get things that pull on our nostalgia strings, but we get new characters as well. I'm not taking anything away from these three. I think they were amazing toys for the time, 4 or 5 years ago. But my point is that you can't please everyone in the community. Hasbro have tried. They've given us new characters, and these guys, especially Alpha Bravo, was a lot of a peg warmer. So of course they're not going to keep reproducing newer and newer characters. If people don't buy them, they're going to make more Optimus Primes. The line after Earthrise will probably have a Prime, will probably have a Megatron. It's what sells toys, and we'll keep on buying them because they'll just keep getting better and better. But if you fancy diving into a new character and something that's only ever had one toy made of that particular character at recent times, check out an Alpha Bravo, check out a Rook, or check out an Offroad. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video. I thought I'd do some Transformers content for a change. And until next time, I'll catch you again soon.